Hey Flosstube. So we're trying out a new location. This is my office. So this is my new gallery wall, which includes a lot of vintage needlework that I did not stitch. And it includes some pieces that are a little crooked that I did stitch. I'll tilt you up. There's some up at the top that you can't see. You can see that one I did stitch. That one I stitched. And that one. Okay. There's noises. Okay. Why is my counter bright red? We're just going to go with it. We're going to go with it. So I have a lot to talk about today. There's been a lot of things happen. There's a lot of things coming up. I have had a lot of things that I've worked on. I have some haul. Let's just jump in. First off, ducks are for sale. So if you are familiar with the way that I do the duck derby, it's happening. If you're not familiar, if you're new, every year my company Advocates for Children, and I work, it's a big umbrella, and I work for CASA underneath them, which is Court Appointed Special Advocates, and we advocate for children in the foster care system. This is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year, and you can learn more about it by going on advochild.org. I'll put that link down below. There'll also be a link below for adopting ducks. I do my own thing. Like, you can win what they do, one of which is a $10,000 cash prize. But I do my own thing within that to kind of promote it within the stitching community. And I have a ton of donated gifts. I have a huge variety of lots of prizes that I'll put up for the drawing, which will happen after the race on May 14th. And if you've adopted ducks, for each duck you adopt, that puts your name in. There's a lot of good stuff. Up again this year is a virtual hangout with Brenda and Laura, or Brenda and the Serial Starter, and Nicole of Nicole's Needlework. We did that last year, and I do it two different ways. The person who adopts the most ducks, like if you're like, I'm tossing all of my birthday money at this, like, you could win. You're guaranteed that hangout. And because not everybody has a ton of money to spend, I'm one of those people, so I completely get it. There's also, that prize is also drawn for. So you could adopt one duck and just happen to be drawn for that. And you can choose that as your prize. That's another thing that I do that some people don't do when they do drawings. I will put all of the lots of prizes and image up on a Facebook album where even if you don't have a Facebook account, it's viewable. It'll be public. And you can go there and you can scroll through the prizes. And when I tell you I've drawn your name, you can pick from what's left. So if you get first pick, you get to pick whatever you want. I find that this is the best way to do it because I'm always amazed by what is the best prize for different people. Like, I would be like, I want this quilt. And somebody else would pass right over that and be like, no, I want that Hands Across the Sea sampler kitted up with silks. Both are fabulous prizes, but it's what is the best prize for you. And I try to let you guys do that and choose in that way. So adopt ducks. I'm going to show you real quick a few of the prizes. That's one reason I'm filming up here, because this is kind of my duck derby disaster area. I will undo this quilt when I photograph it. I'm not ready to do that quite yet, but I can already tell that I'm gonna want to win this. I can't win these prizes, but I love this so much. This was donated by Robin Fippens, and she does long arm quilting professionally and quilting professionally. And she's with Southern Sass Quilting, and it's gorgeous. These beautiful batik fabrics. It looks like it's probably a throw size quilt. This is amazing. Kathy G, who I met at the New Jersey retreat, has donated some project rolls and matching thread keeps. And these are so nice. It's a good way to store a project that you don't want to fold, it's going to be a long-term project and you don't want it to get too many permanent creases in it. It's also a good, really good way to take your pieces to the framer. Very protective. There's so many charts. So many charts. It's going to be so much fun trying to put those into lots and put some fabrics with them. There's some books on embroidery, things like this. The lovely Marcia Cruz made me, she doesn't sell these, but she made me some beautiful project bags that I'll put up in lots, and those will be given away. Another prize that has recently come to fruition is the glorious people from Fox and Rabbit reached out to me, and they're not only going to send me some charts to give out, which they did that last year, but they also want to offer a virtual hangout. So another choice will be a virtual hangout with the people of Fox and Rabbit, and on top of that, the person that wins that, they'll custom dye you a piece of fabric. Like, they'll talk to you about it and what you want it to look like, and they're going to do that. That's so exciting. Like, I don't know if maybe it's something that they would then enter into their line and then you would be associated with that. I don't know. But it's super exciting and super awesome. Guys, there's just so much stuff down here. Color and Cotton donated some fabrics and threads. There's a whole box of just fabric here. Here, someone donated the chart and all of the silks for 2 different projects. This one goes to hats and a tench. So these are here. So much. There's some Jovo scissors, which you know they don't make anymore. There's some Kahana scissors. There's a set of Rolla frames over there. You don't want to miss out. You definitely want to adopt ducks and enter, because I think we're going to, no pun intended, knock last year's prizes out of the water. So that's enough about that. Adopt your ducks. There's still prizes that people are donating that are coming into me. So I'll be getting all of those into lots between now and May 14th. It's just really exciting. So adopt your ducks. Once you have adopted your ducks at the link below, wait on your receipt to come via email. Once you receive that receipt, forward it to me at emilysavaro@gmail.com. That will be below as well. And I will then let you know that I've received that once I've logged it properly, and you'll be in the drawing. Easy peasy. I occasionally will do updates on Instagram as far as what is the number of ducks to beat to win the guaranteed hangout with Brenda and Laura and Nicole. Right now, I think I've only been selling ducks for like 2 days, and I think the number to beat is 26. Pretty simple. Okay, what next? A strange transition, but I had planned to make a video before now because I really wanted to have this up at the beginning of April, but that just didn't happen. And my weekend to go spend the weekend at my sister's house was the weekend, I think April 1st was a Friday, and that's the day that I went up. And I knew that my brother-in-law was not doing well because my sister had stopped going to work. So she had been at home for about a week. And then when I got there Friday after I got off from work, he literally went from being able to speak to not being able to speak, like right after I got there. And went quickly into what the hospice nurse who came told us was the active dying phase. So I talked to my sister, and we decided that she really did not want to have the girls in the room at night with him, and she didn't want to be in there alone making like what she felt was like critical end of life decisions at night alone. So I moved in for a week. I stayed with my sister that Friday through the following Friday, and he had passed away the Tuesday after the Friday that I got there. But at that point, I told her that I would stay until she was ready for me not to be there. So I stayed basically from Friday to Friday. I went home Friday night and got ready here Saturday morning, and we buried him on Saturday. It was very sad. It's very hard for my sister. It's very hard for the girls who are 13, 19, and 23. But with that said, just so that everybody knows, I mean, they've been mourning their father, their husband, since the end of 2020. So while it is very upsetting, it's what he and they needed to move forward, because he was no longer happy. He was no longer lucid and coherent. And it was not a life I would have wanted to live. And I'm sure there are people that would disagree with me, but that's how I personally feel, and I know that's how my sister felt. And I'm not going to linger on that topic anymore. But at this point, they're trying to move forward, and one day at a time. My birthday happened the week prior, and for my birthday, I went out to eat with Jim and my nieces, and the older two's boyfriends or fiance, and we had a really great time. And they gave me presents, even though I told them that that wasn't about presents. It was about us just getting out of the house and having a good time. One of which is this blanket that one of my nieces gave me, and she was like, it just felt like it needed to be in your new office. So we had a really nice time. That same niece made me a cookie cake out of blueberry cookie dough. It was delicious. It was so good. Let's see. Let's move on to haul. Anyway, I'm 40 now. It is what it is. I'm actually really okay with it. I think that 40 is going to be a really good year. Sweet Olivia sent me a birthday gift, and she knows me so well. She sent me this card. I love Schitt's Creek. Such a good show. She sent me a piece of 36 count Lakeside Linens vintage cedar plank. It's like the holy grail. She told me she had stumbled across it, needle in a haystack, and just snatched it up and set it aside for when she could gift it to me. She's so incredibly sweet. She also made me a couple of project bags, one of which I already have a project in. One of which is this one, which you can tell probably why she gave it to me, because it's got all these beautiful plants and cloches on it. And this is made out of like really nice lawn fabric. And if you're unfamiliar with lawn fabric, it is an extremely high thread count cotton that feels like silk because it's so luxurious. It's such a luxurious cotton, it feels like silk. What else is here? Sweet. Megan sent me some threads for a couple of new starts. One of which is Christy Barron. So Jim got me this for my birthday. So Christy Barron is actually moving into my 40 starts, and I'm going to be doing the bottom portion of it. So Megan, I haven't pulled these threads out yet to see if they're all here, but it looks like a lot of them are. But so I need to make sure that that's ready to go. Jim also got me all of the ones on my wish list. And Abby, Top Knot, if you're watching this, he told me that he ordered them from your shop because your shop had all of them. And he wasn't going to get all of them, but your marketing strategy totally worked on my husband, because I think that you had something to the effect of like only one left in stock. Well, my husband, rather than knowing that you could just go and order some more and they would be back in next week, said, "She can't miss out on this. I've got to order them all." So thanks for that. Throw Wide the Windows from Shakespeare's Peddler. The Charming Cow Sampler from Little Robin Designs. And of course, like the one that basically, to me, won all the prizes at market this year. It's The Humming of the Bees by Blackbird Designs. So beautiful. Also, something that came is I'm a part of the Threads of History Club through, drawing a blank, through Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin. And this is the last kit of the 2021-22 Threads of History Club. And I'm still trying to decide if I like it or not. I think the blue is throwing me off. It's a little bit too country blue for me. I don't know. I'm deciding. But, I mean, the fabric is gorgeous. Let's see if it says what fabric this is. Don't you love that I don't know this already and I'm just making you sit here and wait while I figure it out? Doesn't say. Does not say. So, yeah. There's that. Huh, that's interesting. If you know, let me know what fabric this is. It kind of looks like maybe Confederate gray or gray, or I know I keep saying that, but I don't know what they're changing that to, or if they are. Who knows? So there's that. That is all of my haul. Sorry if I seem a little discombobulated. I think I'm still not living at my house for a week, even though I've been home for a week. Really like threw me off, and I'm still really struggling with this working from home, working in a shared space in an office, because honestly, like I missed that whole week. And I feel like I've been working from here less and working in that shared space more, but all my files are here. And I've got to wrap my head around a way to make this new work world work for me. And I'm just not there yet. I just feel really upside down and like I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But hopefully, I mean, I'm still getting the important stuff done, but I feel like I could be more productive, and I've got to get to that point where I figure out how I do that. I don't know. Let's look at whips that I've worked on, new starts that I've worked on. This one is Blue Cat, and it's so noisy because I put all of these jingly jangly things on here. This is a chart by Miss Prim, or Rhonda's Originals on Etsy. And I've told the story of this chart before, but in case you're new, I saw this and I just instantly fell in love with it. He's so weird and bright blue and funky. And when I was growing up, my mother had a Do you remember where you could go to the fabric store and you could buy panels and just cut them out and sew them into pillows and things? And everybody did that and it was an easy craft. My mom had this patchwork blue cat that was funky and weird, and she had made it into a doorstop. She put like a mason jar on the inside and filled it with rocks. So a weird cat, like similar to this, was in our kitchen holding the back door, the kitchen door open for like the entirety of my childhood and years that I lived at home. I have no idea what happened to that. I don't know if she still has it. But I'm doing this on a piece of Fox and Rabbit Prehistoric, I think. And that's where I am so far. This chart, if you're interested in it, takes like 7 skeins of gassed midnight, but worth it. Such a cool chart. Okay, so let's put that there. This is a whip that I pulled out to work on working up to my birthday, because it's the piece I started for my birthday last year. This is in a bag that Sweet It Is Kismet Stitches, or Diana, made for me last year for my birthday. And this is the Mary Argent sampler. This is an exclusive through Country Sampler, and you can buy it on their website, and they sell it as a kit. I think I set aside the fabric that they gave me, which I believe is, yes, Weeks Dye Works straw, and I'm doing it on a piece I had of Lakeside Linen's Vintage Exemplar, which is also what Nicole is doing hers on, so I kind of copycatted her a little bit. I didn't get a lot done on this go around, but I got enough done where I'm happy with it. Kind of show you my progress so far. And there's some satin stitches that go around that top verse. Just a really pretty piece. You're probably thinking, Emily, that's got a lot of pink in it. How is that your jam? I don't know. I think the giant house really makes it my jam, because that is one big Mama Jamma house in that beautiful gold color at the bottom. And I really like the verse, which, if you hear my garage, that's my husband. Be humble, learn thyself to scan. No pride was never made for man. Gotta learn a little from that. So Jim's coming in from the gym. So if you hear him running up the stairs. This is my other bag that Olivia made me. And we laughed when this fabric line came out, because I don't know what you see when you look at this. But to me, the flowers are a little, they look a little like something else. I'm just going to leave it at that. But we both laughed, and I'll just put it out there. We now call this the Angry Vagina bag. So my new start for my birthday went in this bag. Not only because I love it dearly, but because the colors actually match. I started Man, Dogs, and Deer by the Scarlet Letter. I'm doing this in the Called For DMC. No, it's actually charted, I believe, for Avis silks, but there's a DMC conversion. So I'm doing it in the cotton. I'm doing it on a piece of Picture This Plus Bramble, which to me is a perfect, really light neutral. I'm not even gonna, well, this is way too big of a piece, but you need it bigger than a fat quarter, but it can go side to side on a fat half, and then is going to come down just below the fold. So I'll cut it when I stitch down a little bit further. But this is how far I got. It's my birthday start. I love it. I love this style, like these 18th century. I just think that they're so beautiful. This is an expensive chart. The chart itself is $35. It is a thick, beautiful, well-made chart. I do not regret spending that much money for this chart. Let's fold this back up. Get it back in here all nice and neat. Jim's phone ringing. This next start is the one that I started at my sister's house while sitting with her and her husband. And it was really, really appropriate. And I found it odd that I didn't pick it for the reason of that's where I was going. I picked this and put it on my calendar in like January for this date. But this is what I started at her house. This is Seeking Refuge by the Scarlet House. I am stitching this on a piece of color and cotton light brown sugar with the called for threads. And I worked on this longer than when I had what I had originally said, because staying at her house and everything that was going on, I mean, I just didn't have the time to stitch that I normally would, because I did work from her house a lot during the days and some evenings, and then I just spent time with them in the evenings. So I did a little at her house, and then I worked on it for the next week after I got home. If this is a piece you're interested in, it does have some over one, but if you only stitch on Ada, you could still do it. You would just have to take out this heart and the words in the year. So you'd have to be okay with that. I have one other thing that I worked on, and then I have one that I started yesterday, which I'm going to save for my next video, but I'll tell you what it was. What I worked on for the 13th of the month is what I've been working on for the 13th of the month, every month this year, and that's my Weaver's Tapestry Band Sampler. It continues to grow. I finished off this line underneath here and just brought the borders down. I only worked on this for like 1 or 2 days. So if you're interested in this, Magical 525 has a blog, and you can get this chart for free on her blog. This is also on a piece of Pictureless Plus Bramble. A lot of love for Bramble. Such a good light neutral. It doesn't compete with beautiful threads, but it's not too plain. That's it. That was really fast for a video. I feel like I'm forgetting a lot of things. I'm sure I am forgetting a lot of things. Adopt ducks. Love each other. Oh, I drew names for my 100 videos giveaway, and I have already contacted those winners. I responded to comments there, and I put it on my my Instagram. The winners were Bonnie, Mary, and Toma. and Mary and Toma already have their, or I've already bought and sent their way their prizes. And Bonnie, I have to get yours headed your way today. That's on my to-do list. So that's done. That was really exciting and a lot of fun to do. I'm not often at a loss for words, but I'm finding myself that way this video quite a lot. But we also know that I'm me, and I believe that if I'm stumbling, you guys are getting all of that, and I'm not editing it to try to appear perfect and perfectly well spoken on a video, because that's just not how we roll. Oh, I was contacted by an eyeglass company called Zinff, Zinff, and they asked me if I wanted to partner with them, and they would send me a couple of pairs of free glasses as long as I would show them on my video. So I've been working with them for the past week and chose a couple of frames that I hope will work really well for me. And so maybe by the next time I do a video, I'll have received those and I can show you that and show you, what that company has to offer. I didn't hesitate partnering with them because even though it looks like maybe they might be an overseas company and their marketing stuff looked a little odd, I've known other YouTubers who have partnered with them. In particular, one of the bigger ones that I've seen partner with them is a houseplant or plant YouTuber called Plant Me Ashley. And I know that she wears a lot of their glasses and has shown them in videos. So I'm excited about that. I got a couple of kind of funky pairs because that's how I roll. Let's see, I moved this plant up here into my office. This is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and I was watching a plant video maybe a couple of weeks ago, and there was a YouTuber who was talking about the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma and how it's a really good plant to buy small because how quickly it grows and just how well it does. And you can see some proof of that here. Like here's a new leaf coming in. It's pushing water out where I just watered it yesterday. A little guttation happening. You can see right here. There's another leaf coming in here. It's the growth season. We're moving back into that now. But Jim was like, that is a ridiculously long name for a plant. Like, why would you not have a shorter name for that? They go by the scientific names a lot, and that's what this is. Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So he was like, whatever, that's too long. So later that day, I said, all right, pop quiz. What's the name of the plant in the window in my office? And he said, Raphael turtlesperm. So, yeah, it's now Raphael turtlesperm. Is there anything else up here I can show you guys that's maybe you haven't seen before? I have a couple more plants in here. Of course, I have this cactus on my desk. This is, I don't think there's the name for this one is on here. Let's see. Let's see if it is. Nope. But this is one I had seen a lot and really liked because it's got this very blue look to it. And it's got a little bit of like white, almost variegation on it. The thing to know about this type of cactus is don't touch them, not just because they're spiky, but when they have this blue to them, a lot of times that is just a natural coating on the surface that the plant does, and it can rub off. So if you really like the blueness, don't touch it. I saw a plant YouTuber who went to a nursery where there was a not-for-sale blue cactus that had grown huge over the years, and you could tell where people had touched it, like in certain spots, because it was fingerprints and it wasn't blue. One more I'll show you guys. Hold, please. This one is over here to the side because it doesn't need a lot of light. And it's happy over there in the dark corner. This is my Raven ZZ. I've had it for a year and a half, 2 years now. If you give it ideal conditions and a lot of light, you see more growth. It has actually not pushed out any new growth in quite some time now, which makes me a little sad. Could use some water. But when a Raven ZZ pushes out new growth, it's lime green. And then it turns this dark green, almost black color. Kind of like gassed Raven. But anyway, it's beautiful. It's over here kind of in the corner on a plant stand. Okay, now I've got to do some laundry today. Got to go to the grocery store. We're going to my mom's for an Easter lunch tomorrow. My middle niece has developed a lot of, well, she's had for some time, but we've really narrowed down what's causing like gastrointestinal distress for her. So poor thing. She's known for washing up peanuts, but now we're going gluten-free. She also has issues with apples, goat's milk, egg whites, and garlic. So I've got to go to the grocery store and buy some gluten-free pasta to make a pasta salad and some other stuff because I'm making this crock pot corn thing that sounded really good and didn't have anything in it that should be distressing to her. So we're trying to have fun with it and make that work. Until next time, adopt ducks. And be awkward and weird like I am, because it is what it is. I'll see you guys next time. I've said that 15 times now. Endings are weird and awkward. Adopt ducks. Links down below. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. I plan on putting up some other videos along the way to kind of explain things more, give you more information. Brenda and Laura hopefully are mentioning it in their video, and let this be our most successful derby yet. Hey Buster. So people don't like it when there's a whole video and you don't show up at all. I was upstairs filming. Where were you? Huh? Huh? Where were you? You have anything to say? Do you want to tell people hello? Dharma does. What, Dharma? What? Yep, well, we're being really quiet today. Some days Buster has a day where he feels very 14 years old. And that's okay. Because sometimes we feel old. And sometimes we have kitten zoomies. And that's okay. See you guys next time.